Robert Williams from MetalRules.com, and joining me today in Austin, Texas for the Rust in Peace 20th Anniversary Tour is Megadeth frontman Dave Mustaine. How you doing today, Dave?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, thanks. So there's a lot of excitement brewing within the Megadeth camp right now, what with the return of Dave Ellefson and everything. How did that reunion of sorts come about? Was it at the NAMM show, or?
That's kind of where it started at. You know, you got to ask Sean about this, because I was probably the second to the last person in the world that thought that this would happen, the last person being Ellefson. And you know, Sean has been hammering me to get David back in the band ever since he joined, and you know, the opportunity was here with the reunion, with the anniversary. And Sean had been contacting him. I didn't know it. You know, they'd been talking, they're friends, and you know, funny, everybody was friends with them except me at the time, and then, you know, I ended up caving in because I didn't want to be the odd man out, you know, and plus, you know, he belongs in Megadeth. We had some problems because, you know, when you're in business together, when you start to be successful, a lot of people come in and they start whispering into your ears and they tell you stuff, and it happened to both of us, and consequently it hurt our relationship. But the cool thing is that, you know, in 2002 I became a Christian, and Dave's been a Christian his whole life evidently. I didn't know that, but and I don't talk to anybody about it. I don't really push it on anybody because, you know, unless you want to know it, it's not really any of your business. But we talked, and you know, we had dinner one night, and he said that he was sorry, and I said, well, I forgive you, and that was the beginning of it all. Uh-huh. And then at the NAMM show, we were supposed to do a private thing for Dean and for Marshall, and I said I didn't want to do it, so I could come back later on that night, sneak back and kind of surprise everybody. You know, I wanted to, you know, have fun with it, and plus, you know, I wasn't really sure that I really wanted to do it. So, you know, in my heart, I was kind of like, well, if I change my mind, I'm not stuck there. So I went back up there, and we couldn't find James, and we couldn't find Chris. So they said, okay, well, they thought you weren't doing it, and they left. And I was like, that's one of the consequences of trying to be sneaky, right?
Yeah.
And Dave had gotten an email from somebody, he had been contacted by Willie G, my guitar tech, and he said, you know, they're going to be playing tonight and they can't find James. Would you be willing to sit in? He goes, I haven't talked to Dave about this yet, but, you know, would you be interested? And he goes, yeah, I got Dave's back. And I said, he said that, really? And it was kind of like, huh? You know, like, just a really funny moment there. And then when the opportunity came to do the reunion based on the anniversary tour, the timing was just right. We talked on the phone. Sean sent him an email and said, if there's ever a time for you to talk to Dave, it's right now. And I saw the text, and I kind of looked at him like, what are you doing, Drover? You know what I mean? Because I mean, me and Sean are good friends. He's like one of my best buds now, and it's just funny to see how hard he tried to get us back together again, and how in the end, you know, good triumphs over evil, and that Dave and I have come back together under the spirit of forgiveness, and you know, we're kicking ass and we're having fun, you know, and I don't see any stopping us other than Mother Nature, you know, as we get older. But I'm feeling good right now. Prior to this, there's been a lot of talk with me about, you know, what I was going to do, because I was just kind of losing my lust for playing music. It was just running out. It wasn't fun for me anymore. And there were times when you have great gigs, but every once in a while, you know, you'd have a bad one, and it would make you go, what am I doing here? Like, we had a bad show in Baltimore recently. Of course, it was the fault of the people we had running things out here at the time, because they didn't do what they were supposed to. But I'm not going to get into pointing fingers or name calling, because they don't deserve recognition. And we've moved on to that, to where we operate at the level that we operate at. We're a fun outfit. We have fun. We leave a really great impression wherever we go with the venues that we're at, because our crew's totally professional. And I think you're going to see a really good show tonight. We're going to be adding a new song tonight. The Right to Go Insane is our new single, and we're playing it for the first time tonight. I haven't even sung it yet, so I'll be singing it for the first time ever. Not even at a rehearsal.
I'm psyched.
So, yeah, well, you are. I'm not.
Well, let's talk about this 20th anniversary Rust in Peace tour. What's it like to get up on stage and be playing all these monumental songs off the Rust in Peace album in its entirety every night? What's it feel like?
Well, it's fun. It's a little challenging too, because, you know, you want to do things absolutely perfect because of the level of dedication our fans have. A lot of them know these solos note for note, and a lot of them are guitar players. I've spawned a whole generation of guitar players, and they're good guitar players, man, and
Yeah.
they listen, and they know when, you know, you've got a hack in their presence. And the funny thing is, like, even our webmaster, the guy that I hired to be our webmaster, he came to us in Quebec City one time. He won a contest. That's how I met him. And he goes, "Why don't you play the Creature anymore?" And I said, "Well, to tell you the truth, I forgot it." And he goes, "Well, I know it." And I said, "Bullshit." He picked up a guitar and he started playing. And I was like,
Wow.
because it's a hard song to
Yeah,
play, you know,
yeah, for sure.
and it's I find it really rewarding. I especially like the fact that people such as yourself and your viewers and listeners, that they get a chance to see something they didn't see in its time. You know, most bands, though, when they make a pivotal record like that 20 years later, they're old pussies and they can't pull it off. You know, we've just gotten better with time.
Well, another thing that's real exciting in the Megadeth world is last year you launched Megadeth Radio, and in doing so became involved in the formatting and compiling of the music on your station, and that's presented you with the opportunity to go back and play records by your new wave of British heavy metal favorites like Angel Witch and Saxon, and even your contemporaries Exodus and Testament. Generally speaking, I know a lot of metal musicians prefer not to listen to the music of their peers when they're in songwriting mode. Is that going to influence you one way or the other when it comes time for the next album?
Nobody writes like me. I have my own style. When I was in Metallica and I left, I could have sounded just like them because it's a formula. You know, music is a formula. It's a series of notes and numbers. So I could have done that. I wanted to do something different, and I have. And there's not a lot of bands like Megadeth. I mean, I don't know one that sounds like us, honestly. I know there's a lot of people that say, well, they're the new Megadeth, and it's like, right, you know, and you listen to them, and the only thing worse than that is when some fucker comes up to me and he's got like red hair and he goes, "My friend said I look like you," and I feel like saying, "Have you ever heard of Howdy Doody? You're a little closer looking to that guy." And it's like, man, you know, just because I have red hair does not mean that every redhead on the planet looks like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really looking forward to your autobiography. What all can you tell your fans about that?
Well, I have insurance for the book, so I'm not afraid about anybody suing me. And you know, there's been people that are very afraid of the book coming out, and there's not going to be anything mean in it. You know, there's no reason for anybody to be afraid. It's a good read. You know, at the very end of it, I closed the book and I thought, you know, if I didn't know who I was and I read that book, I would say, I understand now why he's the way that he is. You know, and I think that's probably one of the most valuable things for me, because it's so much harder to be understood than it is to understand. You know, and I really believe that the guy who helped me write the book has helped the reader, so that now I feel understood. And I don't think I've ever felt that way before, you know. I'm a little leery about it because it's kind of like someone looking into your pants, you know what I mean? But, you know, I'm pretty confident, and I think that people are going to enjoy it, you know. As far as like shit talking, man, you can find that on the internet. You can find it anywhere I've been before. You know, I pretty much have fun, and I'll poke fun at my friends. But as far as, you know, there's a difference between being angry and being cruel. And, you know, I'm not as cruel as I used to. I don't even think I am cruel anymore, but at that time I was. And the book shows a whole different side of Megadeth, of my time in Metallica, and my time going forward, what I want to do with myself.
I hope there's something in there about your relationship with your godfather, Alice Cooper. You still keep in contact?
Actually, no. No, I don't know that there is much in there. I don't think there is. Well, the only thing that would be in there is, well, there's a lot that could go in there, but I don't know that there is anything in there on him.
Well, I'll be looking forward to read that when it comes out. Well,
that'll be in the next book, okay?
Dave, thanks so much for taking the time to talk metal. It's been an honor.
Yeah, you're welcome. See you later.